All right, I'll be honest with you guys. My wife, she's out of control. She's telling me that I can't take my son on a vacation because she wants me to spoil her instead. Well, I tell her, hey, I don't really like the way you're treating my son, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm 46 and male. I've always worked tirelessly to sustain my family. I hustle and burn through for my family. But lately, I've been feeling like I'm being taken advantage of. We're a family of 4, which consists of my son Sam, who's 16 from the previous marriage, and my stepdaughter Lily from my current wife Alice. I married Alice only 6 years ago when our kids were 10 and 11, respectively. We hit it off at the moment, and we met and got along really well. We decided to tie the knot after just a few months of dating, and we both had kids around the same time age. We both had baggage, and we knew it was going to be tough raising 2 annoying tweens. But we agreed to get through it together and build a lovely family out of it. Initially, Lily was weary of me because of a recent attack by a hysteric man loose on the streets. It took us some time to work past her PTSD, but once she broke out of her shell, she just yapped on and on all day long. We had a relationship just like father and daughters within a year. She'd called me endearing names, skirting around the word dad. But hey, close enough, I guess. Sam, whose mother died while he was a toddler, never felt her new maternal love, sadly. He called Alice Mom right away and was attached very quickly. Alice tried to keep her distance, though. She might have thought it was subtle, but I noticed all right. She initially served Sam less food than Lily. I mean, not significantly, but it was less. Over the years, Alice and I struggled to maintain a delicate balance in our marriage, primarily due to her evident favoritism towards Lily, often overlooking Sam's feelings. We're on pretty thin ice right now, frankly. As time passed, the disparity of the treatment that our children received kept widening more and more. And at the very beginning, she would say stuff like, "If I were your mother, I'd..." Or other stuff to Sam, like she didn't have to already full parental authority over him. Sam's face would visibly crumble every time she said these words, but she would not stop making those comments. When I'd approach her about it, she just claimed she did not want to overstep her boundaries or make Sam uncomfortable. This just got progressively worse. For some weird insecurity Alice had whenever we went shopping, everything that we bought for Sam, there had to be a bigger and better thing for Lily. Of course, I would not want anything less for my princess, but Sam deserves the exact same. Alice did not see eye to eye with me on this and said that since Lily was older, her things need to be bigger. I mean, Sam is much taller than Lily, but Lily has a king-size bed, and Sam has a single one, from which his feet dangle if he's not curled up. I could have afforded a new one easily, but Alice said it'd be wasteful. Sam still hasn't shown any resentment, and he still loves Lily and Alice like they're his real mother and sister. See, he hasn't noticed the discrimination, or he refuses to accept there is any. I'm his father, and I feel terrible about it. But Alice said that if Sam doesn't have a problem, why have I got my undies in a twist? We missed Sam's play, in which he was both the writer and the lead, just because Lily stubbed her toe on the corner of her bed. We once missed, when Comic-Con, which is an event that, he really wanted to go to. It's his favorite show where actors and stuff just do panels for the year. Well, it came to our town, only because Lily wanted to watch the first show of a movie that was released that day, and it was obviously going to be there for at least another month. The next day, the panel he wanted to see wasn't there, but he still went. Alice was angry even then because she did not want to go out 2 consecutive days in a row. But I'd given her the option not to come, and she declined, claiming that she can't just sit alone at home all day. She acted like, she acts like that all the dang time. It was unfair to Sam and Lily both. All along, there was a culmination of factors that severely strained our marriage. The apparent priority of Lily over Sam had been an ongoing source of tension and emotional neglect within our family. Despite my attempts to address the issue, this woman has continued to overlook Sam's feelings and needs. She lost her job recently, and she decided to be a housewife. Since her income stopped, she's been using my money to splurge for Lily, which is infuriating to see, but I can't say no to her. But let me tell you the straw that broke the camel's back. It's what she did on Sam's 16th birthday. You see, as Sam's 16th birthday approached, I wanted to plan a surprise trip to an adventure park that Sam and his best friend had been dreaming about for a long time. He kept hinting at it every now and then, but I've been busy with work. His best friend is a mature young lad who has also noticed the difference in her treatment and has approached me about it. Out of concern for his friend, he has known me much longer than Alice has been here and is practically our family. When I asked his parents for taking their son along to the adventure park for Sam's birthday, he warned me that Alice might try to interfere, but I chastised him, saying he was being too harsh and did not need to help me with my choices. But in retrospect, well, I should have listened. Anyways, I planned his birthday, put aside money for the tickets, and wrote down an itinerary. After all, it was his big 16th birthday, and he had not had something nice done to him for a long time. I also decided to fork out the bigger bed and kept money aside so we could go together to buy one that he likes. I did not tell Alice about the bed, because she'd fight with me about it and I was tired of her bullcrap. I did tell her about the trip to the adventure park I'd planned out, though. However, Alice, with her jobless butt, felt insecure, and then she was clearly trying to regain control over her life. Why did she have to try and thwart my plans for quality time with Sam, though? When she learned about my plan for Sam's birthday trip, she demanded that it be a family trip instead. She insisted that she had nothing to do and wanted it to be a fun time for all of us. I told her it was a plan I'd make just for the boys, and that I was planning on roughing it out. I didn't want her to come because I wanted some personal time with my boys and did not want her to be inconvenienced as we'd be sleeping in the car and making it a long trip. I told her there'd be no internet service, no hotels, and the park was far from the city. It's by a river. I also mentioned that Sam's best friend was coming and they didn't really get along well most of the time. I specified that I wanted time away and that I was not backing down this time, for the sake of my son. She said Sam did not need that. He spent enough time having fun at home, and that he needed to sort his habits before he'd get these privileges, just to go out and enjoy. When I questioned what habits she was talking about, she said, well, his cupboard was dirty, and he stayed up too late. I mean, Sam did his laundry every 3 days, but yeah, his clothes weren't stacked and they were unfolded. But that's how every kid in their teen years are. I reminded her that she's making Lily's cupboard and does Lily's laundry, and that's why Lily is so good put together. She did not comment on that further, but diverted to the conversation to another point. She accused me of not including Lily, and that Lily could do with a refreshing trip too. When I asked Lily if she wanted to join, she said no, and claimed she'd rather go do something laid back and chill. And to counter out, Alliston suggested I change to accommodate her and Lily, like going on a nice getaway, and she practically begged me to okay the getaway plan. I found myself at a crossroads. On one hand, I wanted to celebrate Sam's birthday in a fun way, but I also got Alice's emotional state. She lost her job, her source of stability, but mainly, she lost her main way of spending time and was now idle most of the day. She wanted to be included in this trip because she needed an escape to her, well, help her soothe her stress about the tightening budget. I felt cornered and stuck in the same loop. Sam deserved this, and I could not have Alice changing my plans and taking away time with my son, and just giving him what he wants. The dilemma was intense, but ultimately I chose to prioritize my son's happiness over Alice's demands. I put my foot down, and this was when things got a bit awry. A week before Sam's birthday, I discovered a transaction from my account and that all the money I'd set aside for the holiday in the bed was gone. I scoured for more information and found a payment to a getaway tour company for 2 people. I was aghast. I confronted Alice and she confessed, crying. Alice had covertly booked the vacation for herself and Lily, using our joint account without my knowledge. Not Sam, whose birthday was coming up, but Lily. She and Lily. She claimed she was sick and tired of me favoring Lily, to which I scoffed loudly. I called Lily downstairs and quite frankly involved her in the discussion. I asked her who was I to her, and for the first time that day she straight up called me her father. No skirting around the word this time, without provoking her or saying anything else. Lily broke down and said I was the nicest man she's ever met, and that I was the best thing to happen to her. Well, she told me I was supportive and never treated her any less than my daughter. She rushed towards me and hugged me, and I did not even mention my argument with Alice or ask her anything else, but she gave me the perfect answer. I sent her back after this, saying that I had to have a personal discussion with Alice. She called Lily brainwashed and said she didn't know any better. Well, I get fed up at this point with Alice's endless cold-heartedness towards my son. This stupid getaway thing that she practically stole was the final straw for me. It was a clear manifestation of Alice's deceit and blatant favoritism. In light of these actions, I made the difficult decision to end my marriage with Alice. I had to divorce this woman. While she was a good partner otherwise, I had to look out for Sam. Her crappy actions not only proved her disregard for Sam and me, but also a complete lack of consideration for our emotional well-being. It was her self-centered behavior and nagging for Lily's special treatment that shook me out of my stupor, and then I realized I could no longer tolerate it. The toxic dynamics in our relationship were harmful to my son's well-being. So, I decided to leave this woman in the dust and do better for Sam's sake. Before, though, I had something I needed to do. I knew where Slice stashed her savings in the house, and right in front of her I pulled them out. I canceled her trip and paid for the cancellation fees using her savings. I did not buy a bed, as Lily's bed was going to be emptied pretty soon, but instead of investing a couple of extra days for our boys' trip to a 5-star hotel with a swimming pool and a chilled-out, relaxing activities to do. Sam loved the surprise, and we had so much fun. Sam's best friend had an "I told you so" smirk on his face when I recalled the situation, and surprisingly, Sam did not jump to Alice's side and defend her this time. I think he was delirious with joy at the fact that he was finally having fun and, well, just being able to enjoy himself without her disappointing looks. Honestly, I should have felt heartbroken, but I was relieved and finally free of the burden, and I finally felt like a competent, good father. We had plenty of fun and then came back home. When we returned, I found a note on the door that said, "I'm sick and tired of the abuse. I'm staying at my mother's until my daughter receives a similar trip, and you apologize to me." Well, I laughed it off, but Sam said I was being too harsh and I should apologize to her. I explained to him all these years how she was manipulating him. He finally saw clearly. He agreed with me, and in return for the note, I sent divorce papers to her mother's house. Her mother called me up and called me an a-hole for tying her daughter to her neck, and that I needed to take her away. So I ask you guys, am I the a-hole? What's up, everybody? Mr. Redito here. I hope you're enjoying your day so far. There's 3 updates to this story that we're going to get through, and it is a peculiar situation that's going to get a lot more peculiar. So, here's update number 1, titled, "I Filed for Divorce." Filing for divorce was a decision I made with astonishing ease, even though I knew that it'd be a long and arduous run. However, it was important to bring an end to the toxicity and emotional abuse that spoiled our marriage. It was a really long procedure, but I got all the benefits out of it, and the court empathized with me, and understood the detrimental effects of Alice's favoritism and how conniving she truly was. It approved of my decisions and really leaned in on the importance of prioritizing Sam's mental health and just ensuring that he had a stable and nurturing environment. I thankfully managed to secure the house and a substantial portion of our joint assets. I have my house to myself and my kid. No problems left. I get that I'm obligated to pay a nominal amount of alimony, but I believe it's a small price to pay for the peace and well-being of my son. Although my revenge was passive and the consequences of Alice's own actions, I can't help but feel guilty. I often wonder if my actions were too harsh, but deep down, I know I had to protect Sam and ensure his happiness and emotional well-being above all else. Divorce sucks, and I often think about if I could have done more to salvage our marriage. Honestly, my heart goes out to Lily, who's stuck between her mom and dad. There's a custody battle going on right now, and she's dangling in between neither here nor there. She contacted me personally, saying I made the right decision and that her mother was a jerk. She then divulged that she often called Alice out in private for treating Sam like crap, but Alice would blackmail her shutting up, saying she'd move her to her grandmother's if she spoke up about it. Lily even revealed that she'd often sleep in Sam's bed, letting Sam sleep in hers, and that she'd even take some of his clothes over to hers, so that her mother puts them in the laundry and folds them for her. Update number 2. The entire issue about Lily's custodial battle, it's ended. Alice's mother kicked Alice out, refusing to care for her and take care of her at the ripe age of 78. With Alice now jobless and homeless, she lost the custody battle for Lily, and her biological father gained full custody. Alice visited once, blaming me for ruining her life, and I did feel guilty, but I had to stand my ground for Sam. I sent her right away, not wanting to hear any of it this time. Lily now stays with her biological father, but she often talks to me over the phone about how she mostly tends to herself. She says it's better than how her mother treated her in private, and that her biological father sends her to a posh school. Sam, well, he's doing really well. With no division of the funds and unnecessary expenditures, I'm really well off, and saving a lot more than I'm spending. Well, you could say we're living sort of lavishly now. Sam, though, still is not even demanding and has not spread his feet out. He spends very less on himself and is not expectant of anything. Mentally, though, he's taking really good care of himself and is academically thriving. He works at a charity and donates out of his pocket money, and I'm just so proud of him. God bless the perfect child God has given me. He occasionally hangs out with Lily, and they're still the same little pair of angels, looking out for each other like real siblings. It's honestly adorable to see. I have not heard from Alice and have no clue how she's doing, but Lily said she's having a pretty rough time all by herself. I sometimes think of reaching out to her, but then I just restrain myself, thinking about Sam. Update number 3. Alice tried to break into my house a couple days ago. God knows what reason. It came up on my front door camera. She gave us scampered away, though, no word from her at all. I just found it really weird, but Sam reckoned she was coming to murder him. We all had a good jolly laugh at that one. Lily turned 18 and told her biological father she was leaving. Her bio dad seemed pretty open and is sending her an allowance every single month. She won't tell me how much, but she says it's extremely hefty. She's saving it up for college, and she's moved out of there and showed up at my doorstep. She said, I have always been her real father. And she felt safer and better at my house, and I loved hearing it. She was insistent on paying rent, and won't take no for an answer, by the way, so she pays me rent for staying here. She works and puts money into groceries and the household, and she's even taking a gap year, investing this year into working on herself and her skills. She tells me she has not heard from her mother either, no matter how much she tries to reach out, She has a boyfriend, but she refuses to bring him home unless I meet him and approve of him. Well, we're meeting next week. Now, time for a little update of Sam before we wrap this up. Sam's graduating in a couple months, and he's gotten into some of the best colleges in the country. He's hustling hard for his exams, and he's gone into his shell again these past couple of weeks. I'm not stressing about it too much, though, as this has been his behavior during exam months every year. Lily drags him out for a drive to Subway and Starbucks every now and then, but he's reluctant about it. Honestly, I could not have asked for more. I've got both of my beautiful kids with me, and I'm seeing somebody. I'm not going to marry her, though, at least not for now. I'm going to see how it pans out first, and I'm excited about the future. Hopefully, Alice Free. So, in my opinion, I think the fact that Lily decides to come back to OP's house at the age of 18 just proves even more how much OP was in the right in this situation, and how his wife and Lily's mom was simply carried away. But I would love to hear from you guys. So drop your opinions down below. Let's go ahead and talk about this in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion. If you guys are new to the channel and you want more daily animated videos, make sure you subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.